The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.
Good morning. It's day 42. Today we walked 22 kilometres from Sarria to Portomarín. Today is the beginning of the final 6 days. This is the path that Sherilyn and I walked back in 2017. So we're both really excited to walk this path again and see what we remember and what we've forgotten. Last time we walked it, it was between Christmas and New Year's. This time, we're at the beginning of the season, we're in April, and there's a marked difference already with the amount of people and the amount of things that are open. We've got school groups, we've got people from all around the world. You know, we've just passed some Australians. One lady, 84 years old, she's walking the final 113 kilometres at 84. That's amazing. Hope that I and Sherilyn can still do this at 84. Yeah, so really looking forward to the final 6 days. Last time we did it in 5, we weren't conditioned, but I think with having experienced what we've experienced, just taking the time and doing it over 6, I think will be a whole lot more enjoyable than what we did last time, which pushed us almost to breaking point. But yeah, much busier now on the path, which is going to take a little bit to get used to because we've largely had the path or decent stretches of the path to ourselves, which has been beautiful. But I have been looking forward to this part and the busyness and just seeing so many people saying hello, finding out where they're from, etc. And the school group that we're sort of walking in between at the moment, very polite. What an amazing group of young people, but what an amazing school camp. Like, this is such an experience for them to be able to walk these final 6 days as a cohort. Yeah, very exciting for them. So looking forward to the next 6 days. We're a bit over halfway today. We've just stopped for a short break at a cafe. Very much a different feel today than what we've had over the first 41 days.
Yeah, very different, very busy, loud, brash, lots of new pilgrims learning the etiquette of the path. We just met one lady who we've seen from further back, which is nice to see. It probably sounds snobby here, but an experienced pilgrim. But just dealing with people, blocking the path and just all those little things about etiquette. It's very different and it's made the walk feel different too.
I had a good conversation with a man from Puerto Rico. It's quite amazing the transport that people take to get here and how quickly or how long it takes them. He left Puerto Rico yesterday morning, 6 a.m. his time, flew to Philadelphia, flew to Madrid, caught a train to Sarria and was in Sarria last night. Did that all on the one day from Puerto Rico, so they're in the Caribbean. Yet it takes us days, but you're right, there is a different feel. I don't dislike the feel, but it is certainly different. People are so excited today because it's the first day of their walk.
Yes, they're very excited and they've been charging up and down the hills and I think they're going to feel it very much tomorrow.
I don't quite get it, but we've seen this when we've travelled to Spain previously. But people have breakfast beer.
Yes.
And then they'll have beer at morning tea and they'll have beer at lunch. And part of it must be cultural, but I wouldn't like to drink a glass of beer and then go walk in the hot sun. I think the Australian view of beer is you would do the walk first, you'd get it out the way, you'd get all the hard stuff done, and then you'd have a beer at the end of the day to cool down. I don't know, we joke about breakfast beers. I don't quite understand how it makes people feel good to have a drink and then walk out in the hot sun.
No, neither do I. And we might see some of that change after their first day. Like you said, they're all very excited. And again, not trying to sound snobby, but we've done over 600 kilometres and seen what happens when people try to start out really hard and fast and do all that. And the next day they're a bit sore and sorry.
Maybe they'll look at me, shake their head at me, where I'll have a coffee in the morning and then throughout the day I'll drink water. I might have a tonica or tonic water, but I still drink tea throughout the day, something hot, but it still makes me feel good. So maybe it's a cultural thing.
Maybe. Might be a cultural thing.
A cup of tea maybe heats you up, but then it cools you down as well. And I don't think I'd want to drink coffee throughout the day, coffee in the morning, or 2 coffees in the morning, that sort of thing, but maybe not throughout the day. It just will dehydrate you too much. It is a beautiful walk though, the stretch from Sarria to Portomarín, like through a lot of green rolling fields, some forests, some farmland. Seen a lot of cattle around. I'm just walking past some now. It is very pretty.
It has been very beautiful. We started off with a very foggy morning and it was really nice to see that lift and then the change in the colours and the hills. And we've been walking through some very pretty forest. It's just, rather than having the sounds of nature, you've got sounds of people around you.
One of the things that we're learning is about how good or how poor or how different is our recollections for 2017, that you may have thought something looked a certain way or something was so large or this was the order, etc. And then you come back through and, that there's one stretch that I think I can remember it very vividly. And there's other parts where I'm walking along going, I don't even remember this. We must have been a bit of a daze though, 2017. And I'd say by about this stretch, like we're just about to come up on the marker that says that we've only got 100 kilometres to go. But I imagine in 2017, we would have been starting to feel quite sore by this stage.
Yes. If you're just doing this stage, those hills would have been enough to make you sore, particularly when you're all excited and you charge up and down them and you get to the 100K marker. And I don't think you really notice 100K because you're just starting from Sarria. But for us, it's quite momentous.
Big difference in sunlight as well. We're walking in the back end of December in 2017, and now we're walking early April. So there's a couple of months apart, and we're in spring. It's a clear, fine, sunny day. It's actually hot.
Yes.
But it's good walking conditions. It's not crazy hot. It's just a good level of heat. Even though it's warm enough, I still want to wear the tracksuit because it's good sun protection.
I think the weather, it said it was going to a maximum of 26 degrees, but starting at 8. So we started with light jackets, knowing it would heat up, and it has. So it's warm, but it's not Darwin hot. It's nothing near that.
All right, well, here we go. Coming up on the 100-kilometre mark, and then it's 100 to go. So we're here. We've made it to Portomarín. Actually, it's the first time we've actually stayed right in the centre of Portomarín. Last time we stayed on the opposite side of the bridge, which is just outside Portomarín. So it's the last time we've actually been into this town and had a look around and stayed in here. And it looks quite nice. I found today really hard. 22 kilometres. It was hot. It was busy. The last 5 kilometres seemed to be really, really tough. And I didn't think I would find it that hard. I thought I should have my Camino legs by now.
Yeah, I think the temperature change might have something to do with that. Like the temperature, I think, was around 26 degrees. And we've spent most of our hike with a top of like 10 degrees. So I think that might have made it a little bit more taxing. Also, walking through crowds. Like when normally we keep our own pace, we keep a good pace. We were kind of forced to stop for a while to have a break just to get rid of part of the crowd. And normally we'd go just over halfway, but I think it's a few of those things that...
So what you're saying is I'm not unfit. It's the other people's fault that I was feeling it towards the end there. Yeah, possibly the heat made a difference. It was hot. In fact, we left minutes after 9 a.m. this morning. We didn't get into town until about 3:38 p.m., I think. You know, that's a full day of walking, and we only had, like you said, the one break, which would have been max for half an hour. So that's really been what we've done every day for the last 42 days is it's kind of been a full day of walking.
Yeah, a full day of walking. We were up and down hills, but I think the crowds played a bit into that too. It was very crowded at the start. It was like the start of a fun run almost. Everyone was excited and we had that big school group and these hordes of new hikers on the trail and we're all trying to find our own spot and our own pace. So
we did.
cool.
We went out of the gates very fast along with
Yes.
everyone else. We got swept up in it. We pretty much went the same pace as the school group all the way along because we actually arrived in Portomarín the same time they did. There's a huge staircase at the entrance to Portomarín and they were just as you come off this pretty impressive bridge, come off the bridge, massive staircase. They had just arrived and were just sitting on the staircase to get a big group photo and we were just crossing the bridge behind them. A bit like the Amazing Race really, isn't it? Where we all started together. Who will get there? Who will be eliminated? They arrived to the staircase minutes before us, but we got across the bridge anyway.
We did. And there were others that were behind us, some new people and a couple of people we've seen before.
How do you think we'd go on the Amazing Race?
Let's not answer that.
We'd get along fine. There'd be no disputes over any decisions, wouldn't there? You know what I'd really struggle with on the Amazing Race is I don't know what time period it's shot over, but when they're on the plane, I would imagine they're factored in that you're sleeping on the plane. I can't sleep on planes. So I think it would be, I think that would be really, really tough as well.
It would be very tough.
Some of the challenges would be tough as well.
Yeah, and normally we like a break in between flights. I imagine they're going from place to place.
All right, a little bit sidetracked there.
Yes.
5 days to go, less than 100 kilometres to go.
So exciting.
It's exciting.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.